up. Hello, folks. Pop Wrinkly here. I'd like to tell you a little story about old Brer Fox and Brer Rabbit. One day, Brer Fox planted some peas in his pea patch. Brer Rabbit watched him. Went home to his little children, shut one eye, and sang, "Tie-I, tuck-a-lee, I eat one pea, I pick one pea, it grows in the ground, it grows so free, tie-I, the sweet green pea." Sure enough, when those peas were ripe, every time Brer Fox went to his pea patch, somebody had been there before him. He looks around, and there he sees a hole in the fence. "Ha," he says, "that's where they've been coming through to steal my peas." So he gets a big lump of wire and he makes a big snare trap. He said, that will stop them. Next morning, when Brer Rabbit came through to pinch his peas, he came through there and all of a sudden, bing! There he was hanging up in the air. And he said, "Oh dear, what am I going to do now?" And just then, who should come along the road? It was old Brer Bear. Brer Rabbit shouted out to the top of his voice, "Morning, Brer Bear." Brer Bear looked around and said, "I can't see anybody." "Morning, Brer Bear," he says. And he looks up and he just sees him hanging up there. He says, "Whatever are you doing up there, Brer Rabbit?" "Oh," he said, "I've got a good job here." He said, "I'm earning $1 a minute for scaring the crows off of Brer Fox's peas." "Oh," he said, "that's a lot of money, isn't it?" Yeah, he said, "Would you like the job?" "Oh, yes, please," says Brer Bear. And there soon his old Brer Bear hanging up in the place of Brer Rabbit. Brer Rabbit scooted off down the road, knocked on Brer Fox's door and says, "Brer Fox, Brer Fox," he says, "I've seen the man who's been stealing your peas." "Have you?" says Brer Fox. He goes and gets his big stick, runs down to his patch, and there he sees poor old Brer Bear. He says, "I'll give you stealing my peas," he says. And Brer Rabbit shoots off down the road laughing and hides in the drain, pokes one eye out. And just a little while after, old Brer Bear came up the road. He looks in and he says, "Ah, Brer Frog," he says, "have you seen Brer Rabbit coming this way?" "Yes," says Brer Rabbit. "He's just gone over the hill." I'll get him," he says. And he dashes off after poor old Brer Rabbit, but he never caught him. Now what's the moral of this little story? Don't be greedy. That's the little moral of that story, isn't it? There, I'll tell you another one later on. I was in Woolwich the other day, and I was surprised at the manners of the children of these days. They don't know the meaning of the word please or thank you. All they want to say is, "I want this, I want that." And if they don't get it, they stomp up and down and show off. Of course, if I'd done that when I was a boy, I used to get a good clumping. And there's Mum would say, "There's something to show off for." If I wanted something, I used to say, "Please, Mum, may I have so-and-so?" And if Mum said, "No, I'm sorry, you can't have that," and that would be the end of it. No more was said. But today, they don't say no for an answer. They keep on and on and on. Because when I was a little lad, I used to live in this big old house. It's a lovely old house, used to call White House. And the road was called White House Lane, where it was in. There was only a few houses in this house, in this little road house. Well, a lane, I should say. Opposite were some little tiny wooden cottages. And I can remember in there used to be a lovely old lady who had a son and a daughter. Her name was Baines, Mrs. Baines. And her daughter, what was her name now? Ethel, I think it was. Ethel Baines, yes. Yeah. And her son was called Harold, yes. And they used to have a big pond in their back garden. And I remember one day we was catching newts and I trod on a broken bottle and cut my foot. And Mrs. Baines looked at it, she said, "You should have a stitch in that," she says. But she said, "I would do it up for you." But she bound it all up for me and done it all nicely. Because she used to be a nurse in the First World War, Mrs. Baines. And that was the beginning of my summer holidays. So all my summer holidays that day I was hobbling around. But I mean, we always found plenty to do when we was little boys. We used to go out in the morning till we say to Mum, can we go out, Mum? Yes, she says. But she used to say, remember, behave yourself. Yes, Mother. But I mean, we'd go out, say, 8 o'clock in the morning and be 6:30 before we came home at night. But Mum never used to worry about it. She knew we were safe. I mean, we'd go across the fields. If we was hungry, we'd pull a carrot out the field and scrape it off, eat it. Or if we was down near Mrs. Moss's farm, we used to knock on the door, and old Granny Moss would come to the door and say, could we have a drink of water, Mrs. Moss? Yes, of course, she says. Come in, she says. And we go into the kitchen, the big old kitchen. She says, I think you would like a nice glass of milk, wouldn't you? Oh, yes, please, Mrs. Moss, we used to say. And she'd give a lovely big glass of ice cold milk, fresh from the cows in the morning. She said, I think you could eat a piece of my cake as well, couldn't you? And we'd get a lovely big piece of cake. She was a lovely old lady. I can picture her now as though it was yesterday. This little tall, tubby little lady. She had short bobbed hair, big rosy cheeks, and she always wore this blue and white smock sort of thing, right down to her ankles, and always wore men's big boots. Yes, but she's a lovely lady. I think she had 2 daughters. What was their name? Oh yeah, Frances and Jessie. That's it, because I remember Jessie, she married the baker's boy. Yeah, we used to have some lovely times. I mean, we used to get up to mischief, I know, but I mean, like, we used to have an old boy down the road named Mr. Story. He used to come home at night, on a Friday night, drunk as a lord. And he used to knock poor old Mrs. Story all over the place. But what we used to do, and he used to live in a little cottage on the road, and he used to have what they call a Suffolk latch, one of those that you press down and lift the latch up at the back to get into his cottage. Well, what we used to do, we used to go along, get a little bit of dog's mess, put on top of the thing, and put a drawing pin in there. He'd come home, and he'd put his finger on there to open the door, and he'd go, oh! And he'd prick his finger, and he'd put his go straight in his mouth, and go, oh! And he used to do that every week. He never fell in what was happening, but we used to get told off for that. But I mean, another thing we used to do, we used to go into the undertakers and say, have you got any empty boxes? Or go into the butchers and she'd say, do you keep tripping? You say, yeah. We say, go and have a good wee and done with it. But I mean, those all good funny things, you know, not into trouble. Another thing we used to do is, you know, old Happy Harry used to go, he's a bit of a lunatic, you know, so that. Jesus would come in and all that. He used to be preaching down there, and we used to get some laxatives and put in a box, in your chocolate box. You'd say to him, have a chocolate, Harry, have a chocolate. Oh yeah, because he was greedy or what. He used to eat all these laxatives. And then about half hour after, you'd see him wiggling and woggling. And he'd make a dive for the toilets. But we used to be there the first, and he used to mess himself every Sunday for old Happy Harry. He never cottoned on what was happening. But I mean, it wasn't violent. It was all good fun. Like our village policeman. Our Mr. Popwalk, his name was, PC Popwalk. Big fat old policeman, he used to have a big old bike. And I know sometimes what we used to do was just loosen the bolt on his saddle. He'd jump on his bike and he'd sit on his saddle and go boom down there. And he used to look around and he couldn't see anybody. He used to go up and say, oh, fatty Popwalk. He said, I'll get you. He'd be walking along the road next day and all of a sudden, whack! He'd creep up behind you and he used to whack across the backside with his cape. No, it used to sting. He'd say, fatty Popwalk caught you. But it was all good fun. We used to have real good times. But, I mean, nowadays, it seems to be all violence and everything. I mean, like school. I used to hate school. If I could get off school, I would. If it was pouring rain, I used to run in the brook, get all our feet soaking wet. Then when we go home at lunch, Mum used to say, "Cool, is it raining all that much?" She'd say, "Yes, Mum." She'd say, "Oh, look at your shoes, they're soaking wet. You can't go back to school in those," because you only had one pair of shoes then. So you used to get the afternoon off and all things like that. And then all those things. I mean, this big old house we used to live in, I mean, Mum used to make everything. You had this big old kitchen. And this great big old kitchen range where Mum used to do all the cooking on. And then I think we had about 5 or 6 bedrooms in this big old house. We had a lovely big orchard and fruit trees and all that, things like that. And I mean, all these fruit trees and that, Mum used to bottle all the fruit and that. We used to have one of the bedrooms. There used to be all stuff in, and down in the cellar used to be masses of bottles of stuff and that. But Mum used to do all that sort of thing. Used to make wine, make all the jams and everything.